Hey, welcome back to Youth Ministry Help. I'm Mike Sheely, and today we're going to talk to you about parents. And so I'm bringing in my good friend, Gus Rubio. Hey, Gus, welcome to the show.
Hey, what's up, Mike? Thanks for having me.
Hey, as we get started today, if people haven't met you before, can you share a little bit about who you are, what your connections to youth ministry community, and maybe
Yeah.
one quick story about your own parents?
Oh man. Yeah. Um, Gus Rubio is my name. Born and raised in Arizona. Yeah, love it here. I've been doing youth ministry pretty much since I graduated high school in '05, but particularly junior high ministry. I'm a junior high pastor at a church called Sun Valley Community Church here in the Valley of Arizona. I live in Phoenix. Yeah. Uh, Man, I love parents, particularly, I'm a mama's boy. My parents got separated when I was like in high school. And so, yeah, funny story. I am 38 years old. And if you're my friend on Facebook, Mike, you can verify this. If you
Yes.
posted a screenshot of this right now and you went and posted and tagged me, my mom will comment on it, my precious baby, something in Spanish every single time, whether it's my picture, whether it's your picture, whether it's something Sun Valley, my church is like shared, she will always comment, my baby, you look so handsome. And I'm just like, I mean, we all need someone to hype you up. And my mom is it. My mom is
That's
who
right.
hypes me up still.
That's right. And I
So,
know from
yeah.
conversations I've had with people who work with you, your mom is famous for one particular thing.
See, every Christmas, Madre Rubio makes tamales because that's a Mexican family thing
Nice.
that they do around the holidays, around Christmas time. And we have, you don't know this, I'm the baby of 12 kids.
Okay.
And so I think I'm almost up to 30 something nieces and nephews, and she has 30 something grandchildren.
Wow.
And she tries to get all of them, as many as she can, Christmas gifts.
Okay.
And so the way she does that, she makes tamales, and we take orders at the church. And I think every year I've sold almost 20 dozen to just people around our church
Man.
and whatnot. And yeah, they're so good that my facilities guy every year will send a thank you video to me to share to tell my mom that he's so thankful that he
That's
buys the
awesome.
tamales every year.
Okay.
So yeah, she's
Yeah.
very famous for that at our church. Yeah, she does a great job.
Very cool. Well, today we've had some good stories about your parents, but we're going to talk about how we work with parents in ministry. And so I'm going to
Yes.
turn over to you. Thanks for sharing with us today.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. So when I first started ministry, something that I don't know where I heard this. I heard this years ago, and I don't think I've ever heard it since, but the term paranoia, like it sounds weird.
Huh.
But this like fear of like when a parent is comes around, like they're either like watching you, they're either out to get you, and that settles in if not like
Mm.
coached or you have people walk alongside you. And so early on in my career, I was a 22-year-old junior high pastor, part time, working 15 hours a week, but working full time and
Mm.
whatnot. And I had some parents that were on my side, and I had some parents like, "Who's this kid that's basically supposed to be my kid's youth pastor?" And so over the years, I've just kind of navigated those relationships, and I think there's a lot of us youth pastors, student pastors, volunteers, leaders that are like looking for help with like how do I like engage parents.
Mm.
And I'm blessed to say everything I've learned, I've been able to put in my current ministry as a junior high pastor, and I can say like I have the most trust I've ever had with
Mm.
parents
That's awesome.
in the 20 years that I've been doing. Yeah, it's been great. And so a couple pointers that I want to give to help out is a couple things. First, I want to talk about care for their students. By all means, care for their students and care for them well. Um, know their name. Okay, I understand there are different youth group, student group sizes. Some have really or smaller youth group sizes, and they can learn everyone's name. I know for like us, like we have a pretty large youth group, and so it's tough for a lot of us to know all their names. But like, if you can learn their names, parents are always listening. Something I tell my youth workers that are greeters outside the front when when students are getting dropped off. I'm like, hey, you have 6 seconds to say hi and say their name before that car door closes. And
Yeah.
if
Right.
mom and dad hear, they're, hey, Mike, how's it going? Hey, Mike, so glad to see you. When your parents hear that, when their parents hear that, will drive away and be like, okay, my kid's safe. My kid is known.
Yes.
My
Yes.
kid has value there. And so care for their students, learn their names. Um, man, it's really important. Celebrate with them the wins, whether they're big or small. Yeah, parents want to know that you're on their team. I think the toughest part is a lot. Sometimes we as a church be like, "Hey, we're their church family, we're their youth family."
Mm,
No, no, no. Like we are just a part of your family,
mhm,
and I only get to hang out with your student. I only get to hang out with your kid a couple hours a week, and you have them the rest of the time. And I'm praying for you. And so when your kid does something awesome, I want to celebrate with them. Whether it's one of my students, eighth grade girls, came to me. Her mom showed me and told me like she started a Christian club at her junior high for the first time ever,
okay.
and she was so stoked. So last night at our youth group, I was like, "Hey, Kira, what can I do to help your club? Like, can I buy donuts? Can I? When do you
Mm,
meet? What could I do?" Because I wanted to celebrate with her because she was stoked and she's like, "Oh my gosh, yeah, Gus!" Like, and celebrate with parents too. I texted her, "Hey, I think it's so awesome that Kira did this. Jessica, I'm praying for you guys. Celebrate with them, but also walk alongside them when they're when they're going through something.
mhm,
Sometimes I'll get texts or call from a parent that, "Hey, my kid's going through this," or man, I can't tell you a handful of times I've had parents go, "Hey, we're getting a divorce and
mhm,
it's going to be separate homes and things like that." I think it's really tempting to be like, "Hey, I'll pray for you,"
mm,
and then just pull back. I think we're called to be there for them, even in those hard moments of, "Hey, how can I be praying for you? Hey, is there anything I can do? Can I take so and so out? Can we all meet together?" Those things really matter to parents because through the tough times, again, they're not partnering with our ministry; we're partnering with them, and we're asking to be a part of their family in those moments. And so it really speaks to parents that like, okay, they're this ministry, my student pastor, their leader is not just here for them during youth group or small groups or Sunday mornings, Saturdays, whatever service time they go
mm,
to. They're here always. Next thing I want to do is invite parents into ministry. Um, Something I'm always hesitant about. So I'm sure we've all had these moments where summer camp's rolling up, right? And you need some extra leaders, right? And you'll get a volunteer, whether your church does a big serve push, whether you're on the patio trying to get people to sign up and volunteer, and then a mom or dad will walk up like, "Oh, hey, I'm so and so's parent. I want to go to camp." And right away, there's some red flags or like a siren, and you're like, and you start trying to figure out, are they there, one, to watch me?
yeah,
Two, are they there to watch their student?
yeah,
Or three, are they genuinely there because they want to partner with ministry? And so one of the things I like to do is if a parent comes to me and say, "Hey, I want to go to camp or I want to volunteer," is I invite them to come check out the ministry. I
mhm,
call it a dating period.
mhm,
It's about 3 to 4 weeks. And I'm like, "Hey, you're dating the ministry and the ministry's dating you," and it gives us a great time to figure out if it meshes well, if it's a good fit. You get to see what we do on a Sunday morning. You get to see what we do on a Wednesday night. You get to see what before we go to camp or before we go do this. I want you to get a feel of that. Um, and it's not a no right away. It's not a yes right away. But again, you're inviting them to be a part of something
yeah,
before it's like that commitment is there. Find ways for parents to be in the ministry to help out. One of the things that I did a couple of years ago, it was just by luck. I had a few parents come up to me and were like, "Hey, I'm dropping my kid off at junior high group on Wednesday night. How can I, what can I do while I wait for an hour and a half?" I live 20 minutes away. And so I started a parent group that on Wednesday night.
mhm,
So they would literally drop their junior hire off and then walk to another part of the church, another room, and meet with other parents. And every year it's been a different size. Sometimes it's really small, 5, 6 parents. Sometimes it's last year, it was like 15 parents coming together.
yeah,
Um, but they were there. And then one of the things that they did really well, and I was really happy that we were able to partner with, is that anytime we did an event, anytime we did something big, they were actually there with us. Um, and so like they would serve food or they would run our snack bar. They would help out. We do a big costume party. I don't know if you can say Halloween, so we call it a costume party. And it's one of my favorite events we do. And one of the big expectations that everyone wears a costume because we do like a costume contest and give away sweet prizes.
yeah,
And so the guy who was running the parent group with me, he was like, "Hey, the parents want to come volunteer. They want to help with food and dish out the candy bags." Is like great. And I told him, I was like, "Hey, Mike, just so you know, the rule is if they're there, they have to wear a costume." I was like, "So you go tell the parent group that they're going to help us. Like, they can't show up in just bunny ears and say, 'I'm a bunny.'" I'm gonna say, hey, I
Yeah.
appreciate you being here, but it's not the vibe we're going for. Um, I want to tell you, Mike, I had 12, 13 parents show up, all in costumes,
Oh,
like
that's
all
awesome.
wearing the guy who, again, the dad who was running the group showed up full on Ricky Bobby racing jumpsuit, like showed up. He was loving it. Everyone had a blast. And when you do that, it's a huge win because again, they get an inside look
Yeah.
of of the ministry. Another thing we do is an idea I took from DYM. They have llama bucks, and so I changed it to sloth bucks because we're Sun Valley, and I wanted to like have some alliteration. And so we do a sloth buck auction at the end of our small group season in the spring, so before summer. And again, those parents, I invite them to come hang out. I invite them to help run our sloth buck store where they can spend the sloth bucks. They hand out food, they do all these things, but then they watch the whole event. Um, Again, I must have had 8 or 9 different parents take photos of me. I went on Amazon and bought one of those like blazers that's like all like shiny, like a disco ball, and it had
Yes.
like a silver one. And I must have had 8 parents send me a picture of me on stage, like modeling, like showing off my jacket but again, like they had a blast.
Yeah.
Giving them actual like things to do and be a part of your ministry gets you complete buy-in. Like they get to see who you are, they get to see your leaders, they get to see what their students are doing. It's been a blessing, I would say. Yeah, invite them. And then last, shift your perspective on parents. I alluded to this a little bit at the start. Um, Not every parent is out to get you. Now, don't get me wrong. We have all, and I'm sure you have stories, Mike. I
Yes.
have stories of parents who are like, you, they're definitely not a fan of me. Like
Yeah.
I don't know what I did, or maybe you do know what you did, or what, and something crossed them, and they're like they're out to get you. You feel like and it really weighs on all of us. I want to say not every parent is out to get us.
Mm.
A couple years ago, there was a couple that just didn't like me. I don't know if I rubbed them the wrong way. I don't know if it was how I did ministry. They were very much anti-guests.
Mm.
And to the point where they started corralling other parents, like, "Hey, Gus does this. Do you like that?" And it was a whole thing. And it weighed on me. There were a few times I interact with them. It changed their perspective of their kid. Their students didn't like me either. Like they would like be rude to me. And again, maybe I did something. Anyways, I digress in that. But I had to remember that they're just one set of parents. They're not every parent. And if there is parents that are up against you, maybe they're not big fans of you, it might be worth just asking, like, hey, like, can we grab coffee? Can we
Mm.
circle up? Like, and try to change the perspective or try to change the story. I tried that with his dad. We sat down and I kid you not, he was like, the only way I'm going to trust you with my kids is every week you send me your lesson, you send me what you're going to share from stage, you're going to tell me the games you're going to play, what events you got going on, why you're doing all this, and I looked at him and I said, do you understand what you're asking?
Yeah.
And I laid out basically what he just said to me, by repeating it because I wanted him to hear what he was asking.
Yeah.
And I was like, does that sound reasonable to you? And he sat there for a second. He's like, well, I think as a parent it does. And I was like, okay, well, I think I'm going to go ahead and say I'm not going to do that. Um, and you're just going to have to accept that answer. Like,
Yeah.
because my own boss doesn't ask me to do that.
Yeah.
And you're not my executive pastor. So, um, yeah. So for every one parent, there's a parent like my one parent that runs my parent group who is on board and
Mm.
celebrates and will encourage you. Me and him and his wife have had coffee together. Well, they've had coffee. I had an energy drink, but I digress. Say that because I don't like coffee. But the times that we've just shared life and talked, and they're like, thank you so much, like the life change you've given our son and our other son, their other son who's now in junior high. They're like, you have provided so much care. They've been such big cheerleaders for our ministry, and that parent group that they help lead has been big cheerleaders for our ministry. So yeah, there are going to be parents that who
Yeah.
you're gonna be like, I just don't know, but for every one of those there's a handful of other parents that are like, hey, we're here for you and we want to be a part of this.
Yeah.
And so winning parents over and winning their trust is super important if you want to be successful in ministry, if you want to have a great
Yeah.
ministry longevity. And so, yeah, so that's kind of just some of the things that I want to share.
Cool. Hey, I know that for those of us who have a number of years of experience in ministry, sometimes that because we've got experience will give us a little bit more buy-in. With most parents, there's always going to be one critical one or someone
Totally.
that's not. But can you speak just for a few minutes to somebody who is young in ministry? Maybe they are 26, 27, maybe even early 30s, but they're in ministry working with parents that are like, yeah, I don't know if you understand what it means to work with my kid. Like there's a different level of trust there they have to earn when they don't have a lot of experience yet, or maybe they're single or don't have kids. Like, can you speak into
Sure.
that and encourage them a little bit with some help?
Yeah. Um, let the I would encourage you, let the parents know who you are. Um, Share your passions, share your struggles, ask them to pray for you, ask them for moments of insight. Again, there are things that I've learned from other youth pastors that I've done throughout the year that's really helped me get a grasp on just parent ministry, and realize not every parent was out to get me.
Mm,
Um, whether it is like again, inviting them to be a part of your ministry or showing them that you're there for their student.
yeah.
One Some of the things that they can do is honestly, and then I know it's another meeting or another thing on the books, but like having a parent night. Um, is a huge thing. Something I've done in the past that anyone's willing able to steal because I've stole it from other people is I'll invite parents to junior high group on a Wednesday night, and they get to experience the entire junior high program from their students' point of view.
Mm.
So they play the games. There's nothing cooler than watching a dad throw a dodgeball at their kid or student.
Yes.
Um, Funny story, I did in Paranite years ago. I had one dad try to hide a dodgeball so he could keep it before the new round started, and watch him pelt his older daughter. Now the funny thing is, his youngest daughter is in my ministry now, and he is actually one of my youth leaders.
Awesome.
So it's come full circle.
Yeah.
Um, like, but again, he'll talk about like those are moments that like changed his view of our ministry and changed
Yeah.
his view of who I am. Um, we even talked about. I mean, I don't have kids, uh, and he's like, dude, he's like, even though you don't have kids, like you know students well, like you've
Yeah.
been doing. But again, he's gotten to see. So even if you're young, whether you're starting out, this is your first full time gig, maybe you're a couple years in, maybe you're at a new church, new location, and you're just like, dude, I'm trying to I would encourage, yeah, invite your parents to be in on that. Get to know them. If they invite you to dinner, go to that dinner. If they invite you to their kids' baseball game, go to that baseball game. I once went to a band competition. Me and my wife, which is interesting because they're just playing music and walking across the field, and they're like, "Oh yeah," Ooh, and I was like, "Yep, I saw that. I don't know what happened, but yeah, like um, but again, those that mom and dad thought that we were just amazing people because we just showed up to their for their kids. Yeah, it takes effort, it takes time. But those that when you put those in now, later on, you'll see that just like you'll have people in your corner rooting for you, cheering for you, wanting to help you out the best they can. Um, yeah, and just be willing to hear from them too. Like I think
Sure.
as youth pastors and student pastors, we sometimes think we have it all figured out with students and what's hip and what's trendy and what they're going through, and in reality, it's like we might know statistically, we might know
Mhm.
socially, like on social media or whatever. But like again, remember they're the ones spending all the time with their kid and their student. Like listen to them because they might have more insight than you think. So
For sure. Yeah, and I'll just echo what you said. I still remember sitting at a junior high, middle school basketball game, and some parents looked over at me, and I saw them kind of look around the gym, and they said, "You don't have any kids here, right?" And I was like, "No." And they're like, "So why are you here?" And I was like, "Oh, to watch your kids and to get to talk to you." And they were like, "Okay." Because middle school, junior high sports, not a lot of people are fighting to get tickets to go into those games. And so, but I would say even in high school, like anytime you're at an event, I've always told people I originally in youth ministry thought I'm going to that event for that student. And what I realized was they're busy. They have no idea
hmm
I'm there unless I share a photo
absolutely.
or hang around for them afterwards, which sometimes you can do that. But it's the conversations I have with the students and the parents in the stands that make that a valuable event. And that's just, man, that's just a big win. So one last thing I'd love to hear you just give us some examples of, because you've hit on it throughout all your advice here. one of the best ways to earn trust and to keep parents in that partnership healthy is how we communicate with them. What are some ways that you guys communicate with parents in your junior high and high school ministries?
Yeah. One of the ways we do it, super simple. We use everyone has a different database they use. We use Rock, which is a great database. And so one of the things I love doing is send a text message as often as I can, but make sure that one, it has the information needed. But also like if they respond to that text, they get a response back from me. So yeah, I sent out a mass text. But if they're like, "Hey Gus, it doesn't say, is this for a preteen? Is this for junior high?" I'll
Mm,
respond back as best I can. Like, oh, hey, how's it going? Yeah, it's for preteen, or no, this for junior high, or yeah, we can do this. And it's a great way because I tell them, yes, that text that I sent out and you respond to, I do get it on my cell phone. I will respond. Now, don't get me
yeah,
wrong, I have boundaries. If you're texting me 9 p.m. at night, I'm not going to respond probably till the
yeah,
next morning.
yeah.
But like, I try to do that. Um, man, I also tried even just socially, like on social media. Again, like I think I talked about earlier of like parents that they can follow me. I don't have my profile private.
Yeah,
I'm okay with them if they see something weird or something like that. They'll ask questions, and that's happened. But also, like I want them to see an inside of who I am.
yeah.
Again, on my social media, on my Instagram, sometimes me and my wife act like we're media influencers, and I'm always saying that we're at Target shopping, doing a haul, and I'm like, we're looking for toilet paper. And I can't tell you how many parents will come up to me and be like, I feel so bad for your wife. You're such a silly person. But like, it gives them just an insight of my personality.
Yeah.
I have one mom who I've had two of her kids, and now her next son is a sixth grader, and he'll be in my ministry next year. She loves my dog, and she'll always like ask for videos or comment anytime I post a picture of my dog Sully. Like, again, it just gives them insight on that. It's a great way to communicate with parents. Also, just host a parent night, um, uh, even just a training session. Something I've done the last couple of years is I'll pick a night where I'll invite parents to come. Again, during junior high youth group, they're already dropping their junior higher off, so come hang out with me while your students doing their thing, and we'll do like a technology talk.
Mm,
And I love doing that because I love giving them like insight on how to, when should my kid get a cell phone? I'm not going to answer that. That's something you have to figure out as a family. I'm going to tell you not right now though if you want my honest opinion, but like again, it's your call. Um and just kind of give them some ins and outs of social media. I love playing a game. I go online and pick all the like new social media like logos, like the app logos,
yes.
and then I'll throw it on a screen. I'm like, "What app is this? Or what social media is this?" And it's so funny because some of them will be like I think the last one they didn't know when I hosted was Discord. They didn't know what Discord was. And
Okay.
I'm like, oh, so I had to walk them through that. And then one of the parents is like, oh yeah, my son's always asking to like do like Discord Nitro. I'm like, oh yeah, it's just like a souped up version, a paid version, blah blah. Blah. But again, like
Yeah.
they get to get some information, they get to some valuable training, and they get to see some time with me, and I get to see some time with them. And I just do a short Q&A after of like, hey, how can I help you out? What resources do you need?
Cool.
Um, and it's gone a long way. Those are great ways to just communicate with parents and just be available to them.
That's awesome. Thank you. Hey, so let's
Yeah.
say people are watching or listening, whichever version they've got of this, and they want to see the influencers shopping at Target. Like, how do they check you out and follow your account?
Yeah. I post a lot on Instagram, even though some say it's out. It's the only real social media I have. I mean, I use Facebook, but that's just because my mom has to comment on pictures of me. So, um, but yeah, they can find me on Instagram at GusTheFin86, which Mike you'll have to either put in the description or below or this picture of me.
For sure.
It's a nickname my sister called me since I was a little kid, and so I just put it as my tag. If you find a profile and it has a picture of a bunch of a big white dog named Sully, you found the right Gus to Fin 86. That's probably the best way. Or if they just want to reach out, comment, let me know. I work at Sun Valley Community Church in Gilbert, Arizona. My email's up there. I don't want to blast it out on the internet. But
Sure.
yeah, I'm always willing. I love networking. That's my favorite thing to do as a student pastor, as a youth pastor. It's how we met, like,
For
and just
sure.
at a conference. So
Yep.
I'm always down to have good conversations with other like youth workers and youth pastors. I love it. It's life giving, and so any way that I can. So
Awesome. Well, thanks, Gus. I appreciate your time today. And I know that you've got a great ministry, but I love it when people like you are willing to take some time to invest in other people who may not have anybody else to mentor them or help them, or especially for a subject like parents. That's just some gold today. So thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. Look forward to connecting again.
Awesome. Thanks so much. We'll see you guys next time.
All right. Yeah, see ya. Bye.